Once again, welcome to another live stream here on my channel, YouTube Sportsmananza John. I'm on Kick at Sports Kick. John, get ready for the Packers and the Steelers Sunday night NFL action, week number 8, which we'll get to momentarily. First of all, let's pray, if you would. Lord Jesus, thank you for this day, and thank you for looking over us, Lord. And please protect these players and fans alike. Please keep everyone safe, Lord, and please look over us, Lord. We need your protection right now in all this, Lord. And I ask this and pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Packers Steelers wrapping up the Sunday slate on week number 8 in the NFL. Packers come in 4-1-1 on the season. Steelers come in 4-2. Green Bay winners of 2 in a row, unbeaten in their last 3, coming off a comeback win in Arizona last week against the Cardinals. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh coming off a loss last Thursday to the Bengals. That snapped a 3-game winning streak for Pittsburgh coming into that game. And, of course, the big storyline in this game tonight, Aaron Rodgers, the Steelers quarterback, going up against his former team that he played with for so many years, the Green Bay Packers. Says it's not a revenge game. He just wants to get the Steelers going in the right direction. Pittsburgh currently leading the AFC North, currently the only team in the AFC North with a winning record. Bengals had a chance to get to 500 today, but lost at home. Bad loss for the Bengals. A home loss to the Jets today. Jets getting their first win of the season. Green Bay, by percentage points, leading Detroit in the NFC North. With a win, Green Bay will take a half-game lead over the Lions. They lose this game. They fall a half game behind the Lions for first place in the NFC North. Bears lost today, so that dropped the Bears to 4-3 on the season. So Green Bay will at worst stay half a game ahead of the Bears in the NFC North. If you have tuned into my live streams, this is the first time I've been on in the last week. I was intending on doing the first 2 games of the World Series. I was a little bit under the weather Friday night, and the work schedule got in the way yesterday. So if you had tuned in to see me do the first, and to my live stream, see the first 2 games of the World Series, I do apologize for that. But barring any unforeseen events, do plan on being back on the live stream for World Series Game 3 tomorrow night, as that becomes a best of 5 as the scene shifts to Los Angeles for the World Series starting tomorrow. But tonight we've got the Packers and the Steelers. Sunday night football getting set to kick off in Pittsburgh. There's been talks about the turf. Of course, Pittsburgh, the University of Pittsburgh also plays at Acrisure Stadium, and they played there yesterday. There's been some repairs to the turf. So hopefully we won't have any major issues with that, with the turf conditions tonight. As we are just about set for the opening kickoff in Pittsburgh on this Sunday evening. 52 degrees, the game time kickoff temperature in Pittsburgh tonight. Green Bay Packers going with their all-white uniforms tonight. White with the white helmets as well. Pittsburgh going with their yellows with the white numerals in the front, black numbers in the back. So different look uniform for the Pittsburgh Steelers tonight. And we will see the quarterback matchup tonight, Jordan Love of the Packers, and, of course, Aaron Rodgers of the Steelers. Jordan Love currently 10 touchdowns, 2 picks on the season. Aaron Rodgers on the other end, 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, as Aaron Rodgers met with some of his former Packer team before the game started. But we are just about set to go in Pittsburgh. Fans waving the terrible towels, the yellow terrible towels in the stands. And on we go Mike Tomlin, of course, the head coach of the Steelers, he is the longest tenured coach with one team currently in the NFL. And Matt LaFleur at the other end for the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay will get the football first, so we will see Pittsburgh kick off. So we will see Jordan Rodgers and that Packers offense on the field. Here's the kick underway on a Sunday night in Pittsburgh. Kickoff taken at the 9-yard line, across the 20, 25-yard line, 30-yard line, and down at the 31-yard line. We do have a flag on the opening kickoff. John Hockley, our referee tonight, and we'll see what this flag is as we get this one going. It's a hold on Green Bay on the return, so that will back them up. So here comes Jordan Love and that Green Bay offense. Be a first down, as after the holding penalty, Green Bay is backed up inside their 15-yard line. Correction, inside their 20-yard line at the 18. For the game's first possession. First down, Packers. And it'll be a handoff on first down. This is Josh Jacobs on the carry, and Jacobs will pick up about 4 yards on first down, bringing up second down and 6 for the Packers. Last time the Packers played on Sunday Night Football was 3 weeks ago, and they had that tie against the Cowboys. Packers have reeled off 2 consecutive wins since then. Second down, Green Bay from the 24. Love to throw for the first time. Pass is caught, and across the 25 up to the 29-yard line. Will bring up third down for Green Bay, third down and 2. Catch was made by Christian Watson. Watson was activated off the PUP list yesterday. He's back in action for the Packers tonight. Third and about 1.5 yards. Opening drive for Green Bay. Football sitting just shy of the 29-yard line. Love looking. Love in trouble. Throws over the middle. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Romeo Doubs. And the Packers look like they're going to have to punt it and go 3 and out on the opening drive. Pittsburgh brought a little bit of pressure there, and I think forced Love to get rid of that earlier than he wanted to. And it was just off the hands of his intended receiver, Romeo Doubs. A little in front of him, but still a catch. See Romeo Doubs make quite often. So the Packers go 3 and out, so we're getting ready to see Pittsburgh on offense as the punt is a good one, taken at the 15-yard line and returned across the 20 and brought down right there. So not much of a return for Pittsburgh. And they will start their opening drive at the 20 as we will see Aaron Rodgers and that Pittsburgh offense. As they will start their first drive of the game from the 20. First down, Steelers. Football sitting right at the 20. Rodgers gives it on first down, and this is going to be a gain of about 3 yards on first down. And we've got some extracurriculars already here between the two teams. That was Jalen Warren on that first down run for Pittsburgh. Second down 7 coming up from the 23. As the night goes on, we will run down the complete NFL scoreboard for you. Couple surprises today across the NFL. 2nd and 7, Rodgers drops back, throws for the first time, pass is caught, and this will be a gain of about 4 yards across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Spencer Anderson with the reception, reported as eligible on that play. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Anderson reporting as an eligible receiver, normally a guard for the Steelers. It'll be 3rd and 3 for Pittsburgh from the 27. Rodgers goes out of shotgun here. Looks like he might be changing the play. Down to 2 on the play clock. Rodgers gets it off. Rodgers rolling right. Rodgers looking, throwing deep down the field. Has a man wide open, and the catch is made and out of bounds. A 3rd down conversion. Roman Wilson, the wide open receiver, down the field and marches the ball deep into Green Bay territory. "45 yards on the 3rd down catch to Roman Wilson. First down at the 28 of the Packers. Here's a toss. And this will be a good pickup on 1st down of 5 yards for Jaylen Warren, bringing up 2nd down and 5 for Pittsburgh. Second down, 5. Steelers football at the Packers 23. 10:40 and counting left in this first quarter. Rodgers throws a little short pass. That's going to be a very minimal gain of a yard. Late flag comes in. DK Metcalf on the reception will check the flag. It's offensive pass interference against DK Metcalf, so that will push the Steelers back 10. Bring up 2nd down and 15. And they show the replay. There was a bit of a push off there for Metcalf. So 2nd down and 15 now for Pittsburgh. Football back at the 33 of the Packers. Rodgers takes the shotgun snap. Rodgers throws right, pass caught to Warren, but he's met right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing on 2nd and 15. Edgerrin Cooper, second-year linebacker from Texas A&M, there with the immediate hit on Warren after the catch. Third down and 15 for Pittsburgh from the Packers 33. Rodgers on 3rd and 15. Rodgers is sacked back at the 38-yard line. So the drive stalls out after an offensive holding penalty. Rashawn Gary, the first to get to Rodgers there on the sack. And we'll see what Pittsburgh does on 4th down. It'll be a long field goal attempt from 56 yards. And Boswell puts it right through from 56. And it gets the Steelers 3 points. So the Steelers get 3 out of it with the Chris Boswell field goal. 3-0 Pittsburgh. 8:41 to go in the first. Mentioned coming in, the Steelers have gone undefeated in their last 3 games. Back-to-back wins after that tie 3 weeks ago against the Cowboys. Or I'm sorry, the Packers, excuse me. Unbeaten in their last 3 after that tie 3 weeks ago. Steelers looking to extend their winning streak. Or I'm sorry, looking to make it 3 out of 4. They are coming off the loss last week to Cincinnati. And going, a big breaking news story that has just dropped. This is not NFL related. It appears anyway, by this story I just got dropped on the breaking news, it appears LSU is on the verge of firing head coach Brian Kelly. It has just come down within the last few minutes. LSU is expected to inform the team of this development at a meeting later tonight. So it appears Brian Kelly is out as LSU head coach, and there's been a lot of talk about that the last few years, and especially after the thumping they took in the second half last night at home to Texas A&M. So it appears Brian Kelly's run at LSU has come to an end. Keep an eye on that story. And back to NFL news, a major injury in an NFL game earlier today. Hate to see talk about that here at the next time out. But Pittsburgh, following a 56-yard field goal from Boswell, takes a 3-0 lead. And here's the kickoff. Taking it the 3-yard line across the 10, 15, 20-yard line. A good return across the 30 and up to the 34-yard line. Savion Williams, 31 yards on the kick return for the Packers. And the Packers should get pretty good starting field position here at the 34-yard line for their second possession of the game. First possession resulted in a 3-and-out. So back comes Jordan Love and this Green Bay offense. And this is a toss to Jacobs on first down, and Jacobs will pick up about 4 on first down, bringing up 2nd down and 6 for Green Bay. Officially a 3-yard gain there, so 2nd down and 7. Football sitting at the 37-yard line. Love under center this time. Play clock down to 5. Love fakes the handoff. Love throws downfield to an open receiver across midfield. This will be down to the Steelers' 40-yard line. Romeo Doubs with the reception. That pass is good for 24 yards and a Green Bay first down. First down, Packers. And it goes back to Jacobs again on a run, and Jacobs inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Give Jacobs 6 more on first down. Second down for the Packers. Love takes the snap. Love throws. Love's pass caught. First down, Green Bay, down to the 29-yard line. Right back it goes to Romeo Doubs. And the Packers move the chains again. Packers inside the Steelers 30, first down. Packers trying to answer that last Steelers score with a score of their own on this drive. Love, screen pass, first down. This is going to be another first down inside the 30 and down near the 15-yard line. Malik Heath with the reception on the screen, and that drives Green Bay into the red zone. First down, Packers at the 16. Love throws right side, pass complete, and this is going to be a Packers touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown pass, and Green Bay takes the lead. Tucker Kraft with the touchdown reception, and the Packers take the lead with the extra point pending. 5:05 to go in the first quarter. McManus coming on to add the extra point. Extra point kick by McManus is up, and it is good. And the Packers answer the Steelers' field goal with a touchdown of their own. And the Packers take a 7-3 lead with 5:05 to go in the first quarter. 6-play, 67-yard drive, 3 minutes, 30 seconds, capped off by a Jordan Love to Tucker Kraft 16-yard touchdown pass. 7-3 Green Bay. So, told you about that big injury news in the NFL today, and a bad one for the New York Giants. Cam Skattebo, an ankle injury in the Giants' loss to the Eagles today out in Philadelphia. Skattebo scheduled for surgery, tonight in a Philadelphia area hospital. He's been a great step in at running back for the Giants this year. Skattebo, the rookie out of Arizona State. So tough break there for Skattebo and the Giants. Giants lost to the Eagles today, 38-20 was that final score, and that dropped the Giants now to 2-6 on the season. So it's been a long year for the Giants anyway, and now this injury to Skattebo just adds to the frustration of the season for the Giants. The upset of the day occurred in Cincinnati as the Jets came in at 0-7. They finally got off the schneid. They scored 23 points in the fourth quarter and defeated the Bengals today, 39-38. So the Jets, the last winless team in the league, finally get their first victory of the season. And just a terrible, terrible loss for the Bengals. That dropped them to 3-5. Just a loss you cannot have if you're the Bengals. I know the AFC North is not as strong as it's been in years past, but that's still a tough, tough loss for the Bengals in that one. So the Packers getting set to kick this off back to the Steelers. Taken in the end zone and downed in the end zone for a touchback. So back comes Aaron Rodgers and that Pittsburgh offense as they will bring it out to the 35 after the touchback. First down, Pittsburgh. Handoff on first down. This is Warren, and Warren will get a couple of yards up to the 37-yard line, bringing up second down and 8. Second down 8 for Pittsburgh football at the 37. Rodgers on second down, passes complete, flag on the play. Reception up to the 42-yard line. We'll check the flag. Freiermuth with the catch, but it's an illegal shift on Pittsburgh, so that will nullify the gain and push the Steelers back 5. And Freiermuth, who made the reception, guilty of the illegal shift. So it'll be second and 13 now. Back at the 32. Rodgers throwing left side, almost intercepted. A dangerous throw there, and that was nearly picked off by Edgerrin Cooper. Third down and 13. Well, I don't think Rodgers even saw Cooper over there. Very, very fortunate that that was not a pick. Third down, 13. At the 32. Rodgers takes the snap. Rodgers throws, pass caught, but not anywhere close to a first down. Freiermuth up to the 38-yard line. That's a gain of 6, but the Packers defense steps up and forces the Steelers to punt. So the Packers get the touchdown drive, and then the defense comes out and forces Pittsburgh into a 3-and-out. Here's the punt. Taken at the 17, a muff punt, and it's still loose, but I think Green Bay fell on it. And they do. My goodness, that was almost disaster for the Packers. Yeah, that was just a muff off the edge of the. Packers avert disaster there. They'll be backed up at their own 18-yard line. So the Packers will start this next drive at their own 18. So let's run down the NFL scoreboard for today. Told you about that Jets comeback win in Cincinnati today. They beat the Bengals 39-38. Ravens pick up their second win of the year with the backup Tyler Huntley in replace of Lamar Jackson in that game. Ravens win that game 30-16. Bears fall to 4-3. That snaps the Bears' 4-game winning streak. Miami Wickets, their second victory of the year. They roll in Atlanta over the Falcons 34-10. Tua Tagovailoa threw 4 touchdown passes in that game. Buffalo destroys the Panthers in Charlotte today 40-9. Snaps a 2-game losing streak for the Bills. They move to 5-2. Carolina drops to 4-4 with the loss. Houston 26-15 win over the 49ers. Third victory of the season for the Texans. CJ Stroud passed for 318 in that game. Patriots 32-13 win over the Browns. Patriots 5-game winning streak now for them as they go to 6-2 on the season. That was the scoreboard on the early games. We'll run down the late NFL scoreboard. The 4 o'clock games coming up at the next break. But here the Packers have it back. First down at their own 18-yard line. 3:20 to go opening quarter. Packers lead at 7-3. Third possession of the game for Green Bay. Love fakes the handoff, drops back on first down, and now throws a short pass. And this is going to be a catch and out of bounds, and a big shot out of bounds. It's still a 9-yard pickup on first down as Emmanuel Wilson with the reception. Brings up second down and a yard. Seeing Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers on opposite sides after Jordan Love backed up Aaron Rodgers his first few years. Jordan Love now in his 7th season. A handoff on second down. This is going to be close to first down yardage for Green Bay. It'll depend on the spot. If it's not a first down, it's third and about 6 inches. Emmanuel Wilson on the carry. And they do give him the first down. So move the sticks once again for Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers already showing some frustration on the Pittsburgh sideline. First down, Packers. Love throws the right side. This is Tucker Kraft who caught the touchdown. And Kraft down the sideline, across midfield, inside the 40, and finally brought down at the 39-yard line. Another big gain, 33 yards, and a Packers first down inside the Steelers' 40. First down from the 39. And Green Bay, the play clock was ticking down, and they're going to have to take their first timeout. With 1:10 to play in the first quarter. Jordan Love, 7 of 8, 105 yards passing in this first quarter. So following the Packers timeout, it'll be first down and 10 from the 39 after that big gain. And this is a handoff on first down and not much of anything, couple yards on first down. Savion Williams got the carry right there. Down under a minute here in this first quarter. Second and 9 for the Packers. Possibly maybe the final play of the first quarter. Love. Left side, screen pass, and that's going to be a loss of a yard on second down. Matthew Golden with the reception, but nowhere to go on that screen pass. It'll be third down. And the Packers do not appear they're going to get another play off before this first quarter ends, and they will not. We've played one in Pittsburgh. Packers lead the Steelers 7-3. So after 1 quarter of play, Packers put up 119 yards of offense in that first quarter compared to the Steelers' 59. First down, 6-1 for the Packers. Steelers only picking up 1 first down in that first quarter. Jordan Love, 8 of 9, 104 yards. Lost a yard on that last screen passer at the end of the quarter. And Tucker Kraft, the Packers tight end, 2 catches for 49 yards and has that touchdown. Only 15 yards rushing for Green Bay. All their damage has been in the air. Time of possession, 8.5 minutes in that quarter for Green Bay, 6.5 for Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers, 4 for 5, throwing the ball in that first quarter for 54 yards. Only 10 yards on the ground in that first quarter for Pittsburgh. And think of those 54 passing yards, Wilson had 45 of them on that 1 catch down the field. So Jordan Love and the Packers with the majority of the offense in that first quarter. And they lead the football game 7-3 as we get ready to start the second. Packers will have a third down and 10 from the 39 of the Steelers when the second quarter commences. Finishing that NFL scoreboard, the late afternoon NFL scoreboard, Tampa Bay rolls in New Orleans 23-3. Buccaneers now 6-2. That drops the Saints to 1-7. Dallas gets thumped in Denver today, 44-24. Broncos, they move to 6-2 on the season. And possibly the surprise team of the NFL this year, they continue to win. The Colts, they rolled past the Titans today, 38-14. Colts now 7-1 on the season. This Steelers team hosts the Colts next Sunday afternoon. Jonathan Taylor, 3 more touchdowns. You've got to look at Taylor as possibly front runner for MVP right now. Here we go. Second quarter. Packers 3rd and 10 at the 39 of the Steelers. Love on 3rd and 10. Drops back. Throws incomplete. It hit Dobbs in the hand, but he couldn't corral the ball, and it'll be 4th down. And we'll see what the Packers do here. You'll be looking at about a 57-yard field goal from this point. Would have been a tough catch for Dobbs, but that's a catch we've seen him make a lot of times. McManus is coming on to try a field goal from 57. Boswell hit one from 56 in the first quarter for Pittsburgh, and McManus from 57 is short. No good. It had the accuracy, but came up short. And with that miss, that's going to give the Steelers the football at the 47-yard line. So excellent starting field position for Pittsburgh. Had the accuracy, but came up a couple yards short on the kick. So the Steelers with outstanding field position on this next drive. So back come Aaron Rodgers in that Steelers offense. Only managed 1 first down in that first quarter. 45 of their 59 total yards on 1 pass play. Rodgers on first down. Rodgers rolling left. Rodgers throws. Pass complete into Green Bay territory and out of bounds. DK Metcalf on the reception. 2nd down and 5. Second and 5 for Pittsburgh. And here's a handoff on 2nd down. This will be a first down for the Steelers inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. First down run for Kenneth Gainwell. 6th-year running back out of Memphis, getting the Steelers a first down. First down, Pittsburgh. Rodgers looks like he's changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Rodgers takes the snap and now gives a little dump off, and that's going absolutely nowhere on first down. It was a little pitch play at the end. It looked like Rodgers was going to throw it and pitched it at the last second, but Green Bay didn't bite and no gain on first down. Second and 10 for Pittsburgh. Handoff on 2nd down, and this is inside the 35 to the 32, right back to Gainwell on the run. Gain of 8, setting up 3rd down and 3 for the Steelers. Pittsburgh hurrying up to the line, 3rd down and 3, football at the 32-yard line of the Packers. 2.5 minutes old, second quarter. Rodgers on 3rd and 3. Rodgers in trouble. Rodgers throws down the field, incomplete. DK Metcalf, the intended receiver, but holding right there defensively for the Packers was Carrington Valentine with the coverage. 4th down coming up. And the Steelers are going to bring on Boswell again for a field goal attempt. Ooh, Rodgers really frustrated coming off the sideline. Boswell hit from 56 earlier, this from 50, and this one is also good. So a 56 and a 50-yard field goal from Boswell, and this cuts the Packer lead to 1 at 7-6 with 12:18 to go in the second quarter. But boy, a lot of frustration shown by Aaron Rodgers as he came off the field onto the sideline. But we have a 7-6 ball game here with 12:18 to go in the second quarter. That drive for the Steelers, 6 plays, 21 yards. 2 minutes, 32 seconds, Chris Boswell, 50-yard field goal. So the Steelers do get points with the great starting field position. They wanted 7, but they'll settle for 3 to make it a 1-point game. Again, the coming up next week for these two teams, Steelers, as I mentioned, are hosting the AFC leading Indianapolis Colts next week. Both these teams have already had their bye week. Packers next week will be back at Lambeau as they will host the Carolina Panthers. And, of course, one more game coming up to wrap up week number 8. That's Monday Night Football tomorrow night. That will be in Kansas City as the Chiefs will host Washington. Chiefs a slow start this year, but look like might be finally starting to look like the Chiefs team of old that we've been accustomed to seeing. But they're going to have a battle to try to keep their consecutive division title streak intact as the Denver Broncos are at 6-2 in the AFC West. Chargers are 5-3. Chiefs can get to 5-3 with a win tomorrow. And then the Raiders wrap up the division, the AFC West, at 2-5. Here we have a 7-6 game. Steelers getting ready to kick back off to the Packers here. And here is the kickoff. And it's taken at the 4, across the 10, 15, 20-yard line, 25, and dropped at the 26-yard line. And that's where the Packers will start this next drive. 1st and 10 at their own 26. That was Bo Melton on the kickoff return for the Packers. First down for Jordan Love and the Packers offense from the 26-yard line. 12-12 remaining second quarter. Love goes back to shotgun formation here on this first down play. Fakes the handoff to Jacobs. Love looking deep, throwing down the field and incomplete. A lot of contact, but no flag. Romeo Doubs, the intended receiver. Joey Porter Jr. stuck right with Doubs defensively. We have an injured Steeler on the field. And actually, with just looking at the replay, there wasn't as much contact as it appeared in full motion. It looked like more basically just the two getting their feet tangled up a little bit. So an injury timeout here in Pittsburgh gives us a chance to look at some of the featured games coming up next week in the NFL. Of course, the big early afternoon game is that game between the Colts and the Steelers. Colts mentioned with the AFC's best record at 7-1. That's their best record in the NFL, period, at 7-1. Not just in the AFC, but just total in the NFL at 7-1. And of course, the late afternoon game next Sunday in Buffalo between the Chiefs and the Bills. That will be a national 425 broadcast. Chiefs and the Bills. Of course, final year of the current Highmark Stadium out there in Orchard Park, New York. They will move across the street, across the parking lot to the new Highmark Stadium next season. It'll be the latest matchup between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen at the late 425 game next week. Next Sunday night, Seahawks and Washington. The Sunday night game, and next Monday night, Cardinals and Cowboys. That could be a playoff elimination game for both those teams, as the Cardinals are 2-5. Cowboys at 3-4-1. So that's realistically a must-win for both those teams next Monday night. So a lot of interesting games on the docket next week in the NFL schedule. Injury timeout over here in Pittsburgh, and 2nd and 10 coming up for Green Bay at the 26. Love hands off to Jacobs, and Jacobs stuffed after a gain of only a yard. It'll be 3rd and long for Green Bay. Third down and 9 for the Packers. Football sitting at their own 27. Love, with 2 on the play clock, gets the snap off. Love drops back, throws, and pressured, incomplete. Couple flags come in around the quarterback. And will this be a roughing call? It looks like it. Looks like the Packers are going to be gifted with a roughing the passer call to keep the drive alive here, looking at Alex Highsmith's reaction. And we'll get the call here. There is no flag. They've picked up the flag for the roughing the passer, and looking at the replay, that appears that it's a good call. Yeah, that is not roughing. And actually, there was a penalty on Green Bay that's declined. On the replay here, Highsmith, right when Love was releasing the ball, takes him down. Yeah, that's not roughing. That's a good no call. Glad to see the officials get together and pick that flag up. And I have no rooting interest here whatsoever. I'm just going by neutral, and that was the correct call, picking up that flag. So Green Bay with a punt as they go 3 and out. Pittsburgh defense steps up on this drive. And the punt. Taken at the 20 and returnable across the 25, 30, and out of bounds around the 35-yard line. Good punt return of 15 yards. And the Steelers will take over with 11:06 to go in the second quarter. First down for Pittsburgh from their own 36. And Rodgers fakes the handoff on first down, throws right side to an open receiver. This will be a first down for Pittsburgh up to the 49-yard line. First reception of the game for Pittsburgh for Ben Skowronek. 6-year player out of Notre Dame. And it gives the Steelers a first down up near midfield. Rodgers now 6 for 8, passing the ball in the first half, 72 yards. Here's a toss to Warren, and Warren's brought down right at midfield. Gain of a couple on first down. Brings up second down and 8. Packers defense has held Jaylen Warren so far in this first half. Neither team's really been able to get anything established in the running game. Second down 8, football sitting right at midfield as we hit the 10-minute mark here in the second quarter. 7-6 lead for the Packers. Rodgers on 2nd and 8. Rodgers looking. Rodgers rolling right. Rodgers still looking and now throws to the sideline out of bounds, incomplete. There was absolutely nothing downfield or anywhere for Rodgers, and wisely just threw it to the sideline. 3rd down and 8. Rodgers still showing some frustration out there. You can see it in his face and his reactions. Third and 8, right at midfield. Rodgers dropping back, taking the shotgun snap, throwing downfield, knocked away, incomplete. There is a flag that comes in. We'll see what the flag is. Evan Williams knocked that pass away. But it's going to be holding against Green Bay. That's going to give Pittsburgh a first down. On 3rd down and 8, a defensive holding call. Keyshawn Nixon guilty of the defensive hold. And the Steelers just get gifted a first down on defensive holding penalty for the Packers. There it was right there on the replay. Nixon clearly a hold. First down Steelers from the 45 of Green Bay. And this is Warren. Warren with a big hole this time and picks up 9 yards. Jaylen Warren with his best gain of the night, picking up 9 on 1st and 10. Second and a yard. Steelers ball at the Packers 36. This is another toss to Warren. Warren first down yardage to the 30-yard line. Warren picks up 6 more and move the chains once again for the Steelers. 1st and 10. So Warren now at 27 yards on 6 rushes. 15 of those 27 yards on the last 2 plays. First down at the 30. And this time Warren met in the backfield and dropped for a big loss of 5 yards. Packers brought the blitz and dropped Warren for a considerable loss. Kingsley Enagbare, the tackle for the Packers defensively. Loss of 5. Second down 15 back at the 35. Rodgers, it's a screen pass. And Gainwell will pick up about only a couple on second down. Third and long coming up for Pittsburgh. Third down and 14 as they only give Gainwell 1 officially on that second down play. Steelers so far 1 for 4 on third downs. They need 14 to convert this one. Play clock down to 2, and they just get that snap off. Rodgers on third and 14 throws short. And this will be a gain of about 10, but still 4 yards shy of a first down. First reception of the game for Jonnu Smith. 10th-year tight end out of Florida International, and the Pittsburgh Steelers will look to take the lead on another Boswell field goal attempt. He's hit from 56 and 50. This will be from 42. 43 officially. For the lead for Pittsburgh, and before the kick, we have a flag. It's a false start, so that will move the Steelers back 5 to make it a 48-yard field goal attempt. So from 48 for Boswell to give the Steelers the lead. Snap is good, and as is the kick. Boswell's 3 for 3, and the Steelers take a 9-7 lead with 5:52 remaining in the second quarter. Drive for Pittsburgh, 9 plays, 34 yards, 5 minutes, 14 seconds. Boswell, 48-yard field goal, and the Steelers lead at 9-7. Well, it's been all Steelers in this second quarter. Packers have only held the ball for 1 minute, 22 seconds in this second quarter. And the Steelers have a 9-7 lead, as the Steelers now have about a 5-minute time of possession advantage. They were minus 2 minutes in the first quarter. Of the 9 minutes and 8 seconds of playing time in the second quarter, Steelers have had the ball for 7 minutes, 46 seconds of that. So let's see if the Packers can find some offense here in the second quarter like they had in the first quarter. As they trail once again, 9-7. Steelers getting set to kick off to the Packers. Let me update while we have this break. Give you an update on my upcoming live stream schedule. I'll be back on tomorrow night. World Series Game 3. Blue Jays and Dodgers. That scene shifts to Los Angeles with the series tied at a game apiece. We'll be on for Game 3 tomorrow night and plan to be on the live stream again on Tuesday and Wednesday for Games 4 and 5 of the World Series as well. Dodgers looking to go back-to-back, be the first repeat champions in Major League Baseball since the Yankees teams of the late 90s and early 2000s. Blue Jays looking for their first World Series championship in 32 years. Here's the kickoff. Taken at the 4-yard line across the 25-30 and up to the 33-yard line. And that's where the Packers will start this next drive. 5:46 remaining in quarter number 2. Packers still have 2 of their 3 remaining timeouts left. First down Packers, football sitting at the 34. Love dropping back on first down, throws, that pass is caught, but a minimal gain of 4 yards on first down. Catch made by the tight end, John Fitzpatrick, his first catch of the night. Second down coming up for Green Bay. Second down and 6. Football at the 38-yard line as we approach 5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Love looking. Love taking the snap and will hand it off to Jacobs. And Jacobs crosses the 40 to the 41-yard line, setting up third down and 3 for the Packers. Third down and 3. Football at the 41. Packers still yet to convert a third down in this game. They're 0 for 3. Love takes the snap. Love looks, Love throws, and incomplete. Tucker Kraft, the intended receiver, could not corral the ball, and the Packers are going to go 3 and out again. Boy, that hit Kraft right in the hand. That's a catch you figure he'll make. But instead, it'll be another Green Bay punt. Daniel Whalen back out there to punt it for Green Bay. Whelan gets the punt away. Fair catch called and made at the 16-yard line, and that's where the Steelers will start this next drive with 4:06 to go in the second quarter. Pittsburgh leading Green Bay 9-7. So after a first quarter that saw the Packers put up 119 yards of offense. They've been held to 8 in the second quarter as the Pittsburgh defense has really stepped it up here in the second quarter, as it has been all Steelers in quarter number 2. And they are going to get the football back again, albeit inside their own 20 at their own 16 with 4:06 to play in the second quarter. Steelers do have all 3 timeouts left still. As Aaron Rodgers and that Steelers offense set to go back to work. Update in that Buccaneers win over the Saints today. The Saints made a quarterback change in that second half. Tyler Shaw got in. The rookie got his first NFL action in as the Saints benched their starter Spencer Rattler in that game against the Buccaneers, a game the Saints lost 23-3. It was midway through the third quarter when Shaw came in and replaced Rattler. Went 17 of 30 in that game. Not horrible, but still the Saints the team really struggling on offense all season long. Made a change there. First down here for Pittsburgh. This is Warren, and Warren will have a first down run of 11 yards up to the 27-yard line. So Warren looks like he's starting to find something offensively on the ground as he picks up 11 yards there, his best run of the first half. First down up to the 27-yard line. Correction, not a first down. They mark him about 6 inches short. So here's another toss. This is definitely a first down for Warren and a lot more across the 42-yard line. On second and inches, Warren picks up 16. First down, Pittsburgh. At the 42. Warren now up to 47 yards rushing in the first half. Play clock down to 2 for Rodgers, and just gets it off. It's a screen pass right side and out of bounds around the 49-yard line. So that'll be a gain of 7 on that screen pass to Calvin Austin III. Second down, 3 coming up. Steelers do not have to run another play before the 2-minute warning. And it doesn't look like they're going to be in any hurry to get up to the line to snap it. Well, they do snap it and come up to the line at 2:07. They do snap it before the 2-minute warning. And it's a give to Gainwell. First down, right side, 50, 45, 40, out of bounds at the 37-yard line. So the Steelers do get a play off before the 2-minute warning. And it's a good one, a big gainer to Gainwell. 2-minute warning, first half. Steelers lead at 9-7, and they're on the drive again to try to score more points here before the first half break. Want to give an announcement at halftime. I will briefly be pausing the live stream for about 10 minutes or so. I'll be right back right before the beginning of the second half, run down some first half stats, and get ready for the second half between these two teams. These long-time NFL tenured teams, Packers and Steelers. So with 1:57 remaining in the first half, Steelers have a 1st and 10 at the Packers 37. So can the Steelers get some more points here before the first half expires? And the Steelers are going to get the football to start the second half as well. So the Steelers trying to go 2 for 1 here right before the end of the first half. So here we go. First down from the 37. Gainwell gets another carry, and Gainwell will be held to a gain of a couple. They'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Pittsburgh does have all 3 timeouts, but they're letting the clock tick down here. They also don't want to leave the Packers any time on the clock if they do score. Screen pass on 2nd down is dropped. Calvin Austin III, I think he heard footsteps from the Packer defense coming quickly. It'll be 3rd down. Aaron Rodgers, 9 for 13 passing the ball in the first half. All 9 passes to 9 different receivers. Nobody on the Steelers with more than 1 catch. 3rd and 9 at the 36. Rodgers. A little bit of a high snap. Rodgers has to get rid of it quickly, and it's incomplete. And we've got flags. This is going to be defensive pass interference on Green Bay. Keyshawn Nixon going to be the guilty party here for the Packers. And Nixon never turned around to look for the ball. I think that's why they threw the flag. It was pretty good coverage for Nixon. I think if he turned around and at least made an effort to turn around and look for the ball, they probably wouldn't have thrown that. 1st down at the 15 for the Steelers. It's a handoff, and it's a gain up to the 11-yard line for Jaylen Warren. And 2nd down and 6 coming up for the Steelers. Clock Under a minute. Warren in the backfield again behind Rodgers on this 2nd down and 7 play at the 12. Rodgers fakes to Warren. Rodgers rolls right, throws complete. 1st down. Steelers out of bounds at the 2-yard line. DK Metcalf, another reception. It'll be 1st and goal at the 2 for Pittsburgh. They've managed 3 field goals, but they're looking to get in the end zone for the first time tonight. First down, goal to go at the 2. Just outside the 2. Rodgers throws. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! DK Metcalf with the touchdown reception. And it's 15-7 Steelers with the extra point pending. 34 seconds remaining in the first half. So the defensive pass interference penalty on 3rd down ends up costing the Packers dearly on this drive. Boswell to add the extra point. It's up and it is good, and it is 16-7. Steelers have scored 13 unanswered points here in the first half. 9-play, 84-yard drive took 3 minutes, 32 seconds. 2-yard touchdown pass from Aaron Rodgers to DK Metcalf. And a 16-7 lead for the Steelers with 34 seconds remaining in the first half. Packers do have all 3 timeouts. So, will the Packers drive down and try and at least get something before the half here? As they have been the victims of 13 unanswered points by the Steelers, as the Steelers have turned a 7-3 deficit into a 16-7 lead. Again, Pittsburgh's going to get the ball to start the second half. Here's the kickoff. And it is out of bounds through the end zone. So the Packers will get the football. With 3 timeouts and 34 seconds at their own 20. I'm sorry, 2 timeouts for Green Bay. Excuse me, he had to use 1 early there in the first quarter. Love with the man in motion. Love takes the snap. Love dropping back. Love throwing right side. Pass complete. Across the 20, 25, out of bounds at the 29-yard line for Jacobs. Gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1. Clock stopped at 27 seconds. Packers would at the very least like to get into field goal range here to make it a 1-score game before the half. Second and about 1.5 yards. Football sitting just inside the 29. Love looking, Love throwing, pass is caught across the 45 to the 47. With 16 seconds, Packers will take a timeout. Christian Watson with the reception. Steelers were adamant that that was an incomplete pass, but on the replay, looks like Watson kept control of it when he went to the ground. So Green Bay down to 1 timeout. Added a couple seconds back to the clock, so 18 seconds. They are at the 47-yard line, so another 20 yards should get into McManus field goal range. First down at the 47. Love takes the snap. Love looking. Love throws short to Jacobs again. This is going to be a minimal gain of a couple yards, and a flag comes in. So Jacobs with a 2-yard pickup, 12 seconds. We'll check the flag. Oh, and that ball coming back in, I think, just hit Hockley, the referee, in the back of the head. And it's a defensive face mask against the Steelers. So that's going to be a costly 15 yards. That probably moves the Packers into field goal range, as that's going to move the football inside the 40. TJ Watt guilty of the face mask penalty. So first down, Packers. "12 seconds on the clock. They're at the 36 of the Steelers. This will be a 54-yard field goal from here if they don't gain another yard. Love, open receiver, pass caught, 27-yard line. Final timeout, Green Bay at 5 seconds. So they will bring on McManus for a 45-yard field goal. Malik Heath with that reception of 9 yards. McManus missed one earlier from 58. It came up a couple yards short. This one will be significantly less. It'll be from 45 yards. Well, 27-yard line for, 45. Final play of the first half, barring a defensive penalty. Officially, they're going to say 44 yards on the field goal try. Snap is good. McManus's kick is up, and it is no good. He hooked it left. So McManus 0 for 2, and that's how the first half comes to a close. Packers end up empty, and they go to the half trailing 16-7 as McManus just hooked that left. Halftime in Pittsburgh, it's the Steelers 16 and the Packers 7. Steelers will get the football to start the second half. Again, I'm going to briefly pause the live stream here for about 10 minutes or so. Come back right before the beginning of the second half, run down some first half stats, and get ready for the second half here as the Steelers lead the Packers 16-7. Brief pause on the live stream.